Coming up, the latest on the virus. Dr. John will be here to explain and answer more of your questions.
Why does it take so long for the vaccine to be made?
Then we'll head to outer space. 2 astronauts will join us from the International Space Station.
Well, Lester, welcome aboard the International Space Station.
Plus, we'll hear from this tween queen. And doggy Doodles. Siblings come up with their own pet project to help a local animal shelter. Their story just ahead.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. I hope you and your families are doing well. I was on vacation last week with my family, and if my studio looks a little different, it's because I've moved out west for the time being. I'm coming to you from my home in California right now. It's good to be back with you guys. We've got some great stuff coming up. The astronauts will be joining us from space. That's pretty cool in just a few minutes. How cool is that? But first, we know the coronavirus is still making people sick back here on planet Earth. And unfortunately, some states are seeing an increase in cases. So we are going to get right to it. Dr. John Torres joins us now with some insight. Dr. John, good to see you. Before we get to some of the kids' questions, first let me ask you, what should kids and families keep in mind when they begin to hear all this news that there's an increase in coronavirus cases in some states?
And Lester, the thing they need to keep in mind is we are opening up more businesses. Because we're opening it up, people are going out there and they're not necessarily doing those things that can keep them safe. Wearing masks, social distancing, not being in large groups. And that's why we're seeing more cases. The thing to remember is just because things are opening up doesn't mean the pandemic is over. So we all need to do those things to keep us, our families, and our community safe.
All right, let's get to some of the questions. We've got plenty of them. Here's the first one.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm 8 years old from California, and I have a question. Why does it take so long for the vaccine to be made?
Yeah, we're all getting a bit impatient, Dr. John. What about it?
And you're right, we all want this vaccine, but on the average, vaccines take about 11 years to make. The fastest one so far has been 4 years. This one, we think, will be made in about a year. So it's going to be super fast making this vaccine. But the reason it takes so long is because scientists and researchers have to find out what the virus is, where they can actually make the vaccine work against the virus, those really small parts, and then they need to make sure it's safe. So they do a bunch of different trials with people, give it to them, see if it's safe for them, give it to more people, see if it's safe for them, and then once it's safe, they get it approved and they can give it to everybody else. So even though a year and a half seems like a long time, in vaccine time, that's really fast.
Yeah, and I know we're all getting impatient, and we do appreciate the hard work they're all doing, and we wish them all the best. And our next one is from McKenna.
Hi, I'm McKenna, and I have a question. If you're wearing a mask all day, does that cause you to breathe in the same air? And if so, is that healthy? Thanks.
Curious question, John.
And you know, McKenna has a great question. A lot of people are asking right now, are masks good for us? Yes, they are definitely healthy. And they don't really block the air because the air can still move through all the little pores in the mask. So even though you're wearing the mask all day long, it's not blocking the air. It's not being unhealthy for you. As a matter of fact, it's one of the best things you can do, wearing a mask and social distancing to keep away coronavirus. So it's extremely important if you go outside the house to make sure you wear one of these, even though you wear it all day long, and it's certainly not going to hurt you. It's going to be healthy for you.
Dr. John Torres, thanks so much. Let's turn now to an ongoing mission that's taking place some 250 miles from Earth, up there. The International Space Station is a large spacecraft that orbits around the Earth. It's a home where astronauts live and work because it's also a big science lab. NASA uses the station to learn about living and working in space. And here's a fun fact. Did you know the International Space Station is as big as a 5-bedroom house? It's big enough to cover a football field, including the end zones, and weighs almost 1 million pounds, at least here on Earth it does. Joining us now from the International Space Station are astronauts Bob Behnken and Chris Cassidy. All right, Space Station, this is Lester Holt from NBC News. Great to see both of you. Congratulations on the successful spacewalk on Friday. Bob, let me begin with you. Can you describe to our audience what it's like to work with these heavy components, the Earth spinning beneath you, and working in this weightless atmosphere?
Well, Lester, welcome aboard the International Space Station. Both Chris and I had a wonderful time on that spacewalk. Just one of the things you do have to be prepared for is just how big those batteries that we were changing out actually are. We both commented on their weight or their mass, being something that you had to be really careful with. We didn't want to treat them harshly because those were the batteries that we needed for the next several years on board space station. And if you let them get out of control, they can smash things like your finger or sensitive parts of space station. And so we just took it slow and steady, and we're really careful and tried not to damage anything as we accomplished the swap out. And luckily for us, things worked well, and that all went smoothly.
And Chris, can you explain to our kids in our audience the importance of the work going on aboard the space station?
Well, certainly, Lester. When I first became an astronaut, there was a famous experienced astronaut named John Young, and I remember sitting in one meeting, and he said, single planet species don't survive, and I didn't really understand what he was talking about, but now, 15 years later, I understand that the work that we're doing now on board the International Space Station is really setting us up to understand how to live off of the planet. And we've been doing that for 20 years. We've had people on the International Space Station, and who knows how people will be living on Mars or in other space stations in another 20, 40 years when the kids who are watching this program turn into astronauts just like Bob and I. And that's really, really exciting to think about those technical possibilities. And all of that, the important legwork, so to speak, the engineering and the technical answers, those problems are being solved right now on board the International Space Station.
You guys have a unique view, certainly, into the future. It's amazing to hear and see some of the images that you send back. We've got some questions from the kids. I hope you guys don't mind answering. Here's one from our friend Jerry, who is a big space buff. Here it is. If you could ask the two astronauts one question, what would it be, Jerry?
Well, I'd say, how do you go to the bathroom when you're out in the black with the starry space, not in a spaceship?
All right, Bob, I'm going to let you tackle this one.
So I think the question was, how do we go to the bathroom when we're not inside of the spaceship? And I guess that refers to our spacewalks. And I guess there's not any delicate way to say this. We both wore adult diapers, and just in case we needed to use them while we were out during the spacewalk. I think sometimes you have to use them even before you get out the hatch. The process of getting out for a spacewalk takes a long time, and so you just got to be prepared for it. But, it's the best view for a bathroom anywhere.
I can imagine. So we appreciate watching you guys, but we can't help but notice from time to time something floats by you. Can you introduce us to your mascot?
So the mascot for Doug and I and our spacecraft Endeavour was called Tremor, and Tremor's right here with us. It's a small dinosaur that our son selected to go on the trip with us. The SpaceX vehicle previously that came aboard that did not have actually a crew with it, just came unmanned, actually brought little Earthy, and so we brought our Apatosaurus Tremor to the space station to reunite with Earthy, and we hope to bring Earthy and Tremor back to Earth with us when we come back here in a few weeks.
That is terrific. You guys are having too much fun up there. Fellas, thank you so much for spending some time with us and answering some of our questions. Continue to have a safe mission, and we look forward to seeing you back on Earth.
Thank you very much, Lester. We appreciate being with you. And hello, kids.
All right, now let's switch gears and turn to a pop singer who has a ton of followers on social media and millions of fans. Our own Natalie Morales recently sat down with JoJo Siwa at her home outside Los Angeles, where, like many of us, she's been staying put at home with her family. But that hasn't slowed JoJo down one bit.
From her upbeat songs to her big personality.
I got my cool shoes on, I got my sunglasses, I got my JoJo bow, I got everything.
JoJo Siwa is the tween queen of social media, spreading a message of love and empowerment.
We're human, unshakable. Every girl's a supergirl.
Her 40 million followers, known as Siwanators.
JoJo, when we last interviewed you, you were getting ready to set out on your first world tour. insane.
Which
Just
got
over a
shut
year ago.
down.
We were so close to show 100. I got shut down at show 97.
But you built this huge stage.
I did.
That's right. After the virus outbreak, JoJo actually built a concert stage in her backyard where she tapes weekly performances to post on YouTube.
I tried to take the attention away from Corona with it.
And you went big because you wanted to entertain, right?
I mean, I'm an entertainer. My biggest inspirations, Freddie Mercury, Elton John, Michael Jackson, they put on a show. They don't sit on their couch and sing a song. I was like, I need to up my game. And that's the next day is when I birthed the heart and star on my face, and now it's like, I can't get it off.
JoJo's also grabbing views with her hair. The 17-year-old just posted a video of herself as a brunette.
I did it.
This coming on the heels of a recent video showing her losing her signature side ponytail and bow and her naturally wavy hair down, a move that threw fans into a frenzy. We sat down with her shortly after that video went viral.
I think I'm the only person in the world that can break the internet by just putting my hair down.
What was the idea behind that? And it's back up today. You're not giving up the bow.
No, 100%. The bow will obviously always be a piece of my life. You know, it's who I am.
It's not you trying to grow up.
It's not me trying to grow up. It's not me trying to break out. It was more like me just like trying to make a TikTok, be funny and like put my hair down. And you know, I don't look 7 today. Maybe I look 15, but like, I also don't want to look 27.
It's late at night and
JoJo also setting the record straight after accusations of racism in her new music video Non-Stop, where a dancer wears black makeup on her face. The singer posting on Instagram that the dancer's face was painted to look like an animal to go with the video's circus theme. Other dancers are dressed up as a tiger and a zebra. JoJo writing that Black Lives Matter and telling her critics stop trying to make this about something it isn't.
Family dinner, we got some sloppy joes, some beans, some fries.
Like many of you, JoJo is spending lots of time with family these days. Locked down at home with her parents and older brother, Jaden.
What's it like living with JoJo 24/7, nonstop?
That's a good word to describe it, nonstop.
Yeah.
I would say it's always an adventure. There's something always new happening.
No sibling rivalry ever between the two of you? Who's going to the pool?
No, the only rivalry or any thing we have is with the new puppy.
Okay, so we got a new puppy, and he is a dog hog. Oh boy.
We got to meet their adorable new Labradoodle.
Get my hair? This is our house.
Then, with masks on, we got a tour inside her home filled with lots of candy and JoJo decor.
We got our piano and we got our costumes and of course
a unicorn.
The unicorn. You gotta have the unicorn. Oh yeah.
She even has a JoJo merchandise room filled with her brand's clothes, bows, and dolls.
Does it ever feel overwhelming for you, though, to think that I've got to always be working?
Yeah. You know, there are times where I joke around and I say once every 3 months I just kind of bottle everything up and then I just break one night and I have a bit of a breakdown and I cry for a solid 3 hours. I take a shower and I call it good. I put my game face back on.
Being famous, she's also had to deal with some not so nice stuff online.
I've heard everything under the sun about me. I've heard my hairline, I've heard I'm a baby, I've heard I'm a giant toddler, I've heard I'm a brat, I heard I'm fat. I try to respond with comedy. People will drive by the house actually and shout out very mean things and I always come up with the funniest comebacks.
Does it hurt though? Does it ever really get to you?
I mean, it can be hard and it hurts, but as a person, you want people to be nice, and you're never, ever gonna please everybody. Curly made mine.
That attitude has been key to her success, always inspiring kids to believe in themselves, no matter what.
If you're ever feeling down, know the people who are your people. Know your family, know your dog, know those living things that are really there for you.
All right, thanks, Natalie. Finally, we want to introduce you to a pair of siblings who combine their love of doodling with a new pet project.
And these are our latest work.
Picture perfect. That's the new motto in the Farzam house.
We thought this was a great way to stay safe and at home while helping out.
Siblings Ileana and Jonah are regular volunteers at Wag and Walk's Rescue in Los Angeles. But when the pandemic hit, they created a new canvas for helping animals.
I always loved dogs and had a big passion for them, so any way I could help them would be great for me and I would be really happy.
The teens are leading Doggy Doodles, painting pictures of pets in the community in exchange for a donation to the animal rescue.
I think that for us it's amazing to do, not only because we're raising money for dogs, but also because when we paint, it's so relaxing and just kind of washes all your worries away.
And since we love dogs so much, I would do anything to just help them.
For Ileana and Jonah, this pet project has been long in the making. Over the years, the siblings have fostered more than 24 dogs.
There was Joe, there was Bridget, there was Raisin Bran, there was Applejack, there was Frosted Flake, there was Rosé.
With more than $1,000 raised so far, the siblings plan to keep doodling while also eyeing a new goal.
We are going to go right over there and walk every single dog in the shelter and play with every single dog. We cannot wait to go back there.
Yeah, sit.
And look who ended up on a doodle. That's Lucy. That's my Labradoodle captured in these pictures. And I must say, it's a pretty good likeness of her. Well, that's going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question, email a video to us at nightlinewskids@nbcuni.com. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please take care of yourself and each other.